Okay. Without further ado, our question is right here. Is there hope for our planet's environmental future? You may use the article of the week, but you don't have to. You can also use prior knowledge. Ready? Set, go. You didn't say go. Warm?
Okay. I think that we're technically like the hope for our planet's future is like life technically. Like you try to fix yourself so many times that sooner or later that you're just gonna start right back where you started. Like you can technically fix something over and over and over again. It just might not get better. And during like the planet's environment, we're trying to do so many things to fix it that we're technically making it worse in trying to fix it by making it worse. Yeah. Yeah. Try to put it like that.
Okay, so I said pretty much kind of what Alexa said. I said that there is hope, but hope is not going to do much. You actually have to do something for the environment so it can get better. Like I described it as like writing a paper, and it's just perfectly fine, but you try fixing it over and over and over again, but then it's just so bad after you're done with it, and you can fix it back to where it should be fine again, but you're just too lazy and just throw it out and like put it away, because like there's like even movies like the movie WALL-E. We're considering just being done with Earth and just going somewhere else because you're too lazy to fix it.
Okay, I agree with Lexi, but I also think that if we could stop like some production, because they're technically just people now, we're making stuff that less like stops it, but that takes more power. But if we could stop some like the production plants from doing it, because they produce a lot of toxic gases, that could probably solve some of the problems over a period of like a month or two, help us solving it. So.
Okay, so is there hope? I believe that some people think that, yeah, sure, we have all this new stuff and new ways to fix it, but there isn't really any hope. I mean, there's like, we're all doomed. That's just how it is. And for every country, like we all have different ideas on how we want to fix what's going on. But how is the whole world going to agree on one idea and be able to agree on that one idea in time? By the time we all are done fighting about it, there's not going to be enough time to be able to fix what we did wrong.
You guys feel good? I feel good after that.
I agree with Sarah when she says that time is our major issue right now, which it is, because Americans and all kinds of people just want stuff, and stuff comes with a cost. So until you can actually cut what you want in half, then all the other stuff will start to come down. But I don't really believe that we do have much hope, because our world is just not more efficient. It just won't start on the trail to get better. That's also why we're looking towards Mars and towards other planets with the atmosphere that's kind of like ours that we can fix, is because ours is dying and we're looking for a new one to move there.
So I agree with Bailey and Sierra about time, because the President Obama has said that he wants to reduce it by 26 to 28% by 2025, and we still haven't made a decision on that. So it's like, how are we going to do that in 10 years if we still haven't planned all of it out and made the actual decision about it?
So I agree with Allura, but I kind of also disagree with her. I agree with her that there is hope for the world, but I disagree with your, if you revise a paper too much, it'll just end up so bad that it won't work anymore. Because if you have new ideas, it should be able to get better and better. Otherwise, you learn from your mistakes and error. Like, I read an article that there's a gym that has people that exercise, and then they use their people's exercise as energy. So that's a new idea that's helping and brings hope to people.
Okay, so earlier when I stood on the chair and I said, I think that there is hope, I'm not changing my opinion. Yes, I agree with Allura, mostly because cartoons have meaning, people. Okay, it prepares children for the future, and that is why I watch them 24/7. So I believe that there could be a future where we all sit in our chairs and drink soda and waddle around when they break. But I think many hands make light work. So even when Sierra says that we won't be able to come up with an agreement, I think that is totally true, because 30 kids in a classroom can't agree on one idea. So how is 9 billion people going to come up with one idea to help save the planet? But I think all of our different ideas of having gyms where the treadmills power the TVs, that's an idea. Planting trees, that's an idea. All of these little things will add up and become big things. And, they do mention how, around the world they mention how the polar ice caps are melting, when in fact in other areas of the world you will find that ice is in fact growing. There's amounts of ice that are suddenly appearing, and they think that's simply migration of temperature, because climate can change in certain areas and become a big thing, but it can also change in other areas and be a big thing to them too. That's what I think.
So a couple things I'm noticing. One, I am seeing an excellent spectrum of life. You'll notice that some people are effectively bringing humor into this, and it's not like they're making a mockery of it all, but they're using humor to engage you and to make you really hear their idea. So that's a big difference between just trying to be a goofball and draw attention to yourself. I'm not seeing that. Okay? One thing I will say is that with a wide open debate like this, a debate where we've read one article, but I'm allowing you to bring in prior knowledge, you as the listener need to be asking yourself, okay, is that person's evidence good evidence? Or is that reasoning good reasoning? I really liked when Alexa stood up and she said, hey, Allura, I agree with what you said, but I disagree with your reasoning there. And I also liked that Allura used the paper writing process as an example of her reasoning. I thought both of those were very, very good things for a wide open debate like this, a debate where we have very small textual evidence. But just keep in mind, you can challenge when somebody makes a claim about, well, I read this thing that says this. You can challenge when somebody says, well, it's kind of like Wall-E. All right? You don't have to, but you can. Those are good debater things to be thinking about. Continue. D-Mac.
I think there is hope for the environmental future, because I have no clue why, but I just think there's hope. Because, like Bree said, we can, little things can become big things, and
Roll.
I think that there is absolutely no hope because humans are not going to give up all of the stuff they want just so they can save some animals that are going extinct. And instead, they're probably just going to put them in a zoo and label it rare animal. That's it.
Corey.
Okay. I think that there's hope because, like, a few years ago, there was, like, breaking record, like, temperatures in, like, Antarctica. And, like, last year, we had, like, 3 feet of snow. And, like, if you just hope, I'll be able to go snowmobiling in this month, this winter. And, like, and with that hope, the Earth will live. Yeah.
Let me just take a moment to process what you just said. With hope, the world will live. No. With hope, a flower won't even grow. You need to take action to what you're doing.
My snowmobile is not going to ruin the Earth. Neither are cars or anything. It's just going to make the Earth nasty. That's it. But when the Earth is nasty, you're not going to be able to build any more cars. And then it'll get pretty again.
No time commentary. Remember, we are grappling with ideas here. There's no personal attacks. You may attack ideas.
Okay, so you were saying like how a lot of like little things can like make a big difference, such as a lot of little snowmobiles can make a big difference. And I also agree with Alyssa because I feel like a lot of people are really greedy with their things and they do not want to give it up to like help the environment. Like my one thing won't make too much of a difference. Cough, cough, cough.
Okay, so going back to what Sierra said before she got back up, like how she's saying that there's absolutely no hope. Yes, I get where you're coming from, but I'm going to disagree with you. It's because that if you have hope, then you can believe that something could happen. Like, I'm not saying that it will happen, but you can believe that it could happen. Like, if you don't have hope, then what's the point of even trying to do it anymore? Like, if you don't believe that if you study a test, study for a test, and that you hope that you can do good on it, and just say, oh, I'm not going to do good on it, you're not going to believe in yourself that you can do it. So you have to have that hope to believe that you can do it.
Okay, so there may not be hope. But with hope, you can only get so far. So it doesn't really matter if you have hope or not. But I don't think we have much hope. We're like all going to end up dying and it's going to be like that. So
Don't hit me with that, please. I won't.
Okay. I have like 9 bullet points to get through. How many people does it take to screw in a light bulb? This will all make sense by the end. Second bullet point. There is hope, actually. Third bullet point. I'd say we should all thank Al Gore for being one of the major people to bring global warming to our attention. He was using this as a major campaign, whatever thing, but he said that this is getting hotter up here, and that just brought a lot of mainstream media attention. Now, there is one thing wrong with all the hope that we have, is that people are denying that this heating up and everything around it in space is getting worse for us, not us, is a denial of global warming. Many people will deny it and say something like, it's cold out here, the earth can't be getting warmer. Global warming causes extremes. Extreme cold, extreme hurricanes, extreme dust maybe. I'm not that entirely sure. Many ideas and no funding. There is a million ways. Going back to Alexa, what she said about the gym. All these young college students, they all have ideas. Solar-powered cars, fresh air dispensers, something like that. They have no funding, though, because nobody wants to fund that. They want to fund something that people are going to pay for, like, I don't know, bottles. Science is like life, and it will always find a way. Even if we mess up this whole thing, they're going to, like, shoot a rocket into space and, like, fill it with all the gases we need. It might not work out at first, but there is always an answer in science. The world will end, but not by us. Like in a million trillion years, the sun will explode, well, this whole thing will be gone, or a meteor will just be like, rain in Africa, and just, but not by us. Don't give up. All I hear is, there is no hope. Why would you end the battle as soon as it's starting? Friggin', like, the people, like the Trojans didn't come over the hill and they were like, oh, well, you know, guess we better put down our swords. Don't kill us. We need everyone in this together to make it happen. And 100%. That's why I said at the beginning, how many people does it take to screw in a light bulb?
I agree with Bailey and Brianna, but who's to say that global warming hasn't happened before we've been polluting the earth? I mean, because we had, like, it was covered in ice and it melted, so maybe this isn't the start, like, we haven't had global warming for a while. And they have all these ideas of, like, solar power and wind power, but where are we going to get the money to get the windmills and stuff for the wind power?
Okay, obviously everybody liked Dylan's speech, because Dylan's pretty good at this stuff. But I would like to point out that I liked his kind of call to action, like, hey, we all need to do this. As High School Musical says, we're all in this together, okay? You know, Zac Efron, too. Whatever that guy was, I don't know. I think people are denying that what they do every day, what you do right now, sitting right here, is affecting global warming. When you go home and you eat your cheesy poofs, that factory might be outputting chemicals that do affect global warming. So I think by us all making little tiny changes, as I said before, it will all add up, people, and we might make it out of this. So I think we will, because we're good people.
I want you guys to think about endings. Think about endings. I mean, well, because they make speeches really powerful, right? What was neat about Dylan's? He goes right back to where he started. I'm not 100% sure what he meant with the light bulb thing. But he created a full circle effect. He created a full circle effect there, and I think that's part of why you guys spontaneously clapped. Also, one other one that comes to mind is VDC. Her last sentence there, and I can't even remember it anymore. But it, like, slowed down. She used speed slowed down just her last sentence to create like a little bit of an effect at the end. It's just something to think about. No more repeaters for the next, until everyone knows. Madurwin.
Well, with this, I was sort of in the middle between there being hope and there not being hope. I think that there would be hope if humans would stop polluting the earth with all of the factories and things. But then there isn't hope because the more we create technology, the more pollution is like being made, and then it's just going to end up turning into like this huge cycle of pollution and then technology and then more pollution and more technology, and it's just not going to go anywhere. It's just going to stay getting worse than getting better.
Abby V.
I said that I agree with Bailey and Alyssa that I don't think there's hope because people want what they want, and I don't think that they're gonna like try to start doing stuff to save the earth because of the stuff that they want.
I agree with Maddie that I'm kind of in the middle because I think that with enough people contributing and like helping that there's hope, but I also say no because there's like new technology and advances that harm the environment.
I think there is hope because if everybody works together and we do it fast enough, that it will stop it. But like, if only America stops and China doesn't, then like, it's not gonna work.
Cook. Quickly.
Okay, going back to what Corey said with his little snowmobiles, if you get, I'm gonna absolutely disagree with that because like if you get the big turbo diesel trucks and truckers with their diesels, they're putting a lot more emissions out than if you get a whole ton of snowmobiles. That's pretty much the same thing as like one truck. So if we don't stop, the ozone layer is gonna get depleted and everyone's gonna die because all the other gases are gonna kill us all.
That's another nice ending there. Just like, powerful words to end on. A little sad. Phoebe?
I agree with like Paul and Maddie because like all the factories are putting out a lot of pollution, and I think that if we like cut down all the factory pollution, that maybe there is hope that the earth wouldn't get so polluted in the ozone layer.
Maddie TZO.
Okay, I want to refer to one of my favorite movies that nobody has brought up today, which I'm not really sure why. And it's The Lorax, and I think it was by Dr. Seuss, am I correct here? Yes. So, the movie is basically about what the future is going to be about, I guess. You know, there was one little tree, and they brought it into, was it called Sunnydale? I think it was called Sunnydale. I don't know. They had a little bit of hope and a little tree, and they planted that tree, and everything just started over, and it was like beautiful. And that little orange guy who hid up in the house,
he got a happy ending, all because of hope. I do not. Was his name actually the Lorax?
Yes.
Oh,
That makes a lot of sense now.
so yeah. I just thought he was a weird orange thingy. But either way, if we didn't have any hope, then life would be nothing, because everything has hope. Can I please have my glasses back? Thank you. Have a good day, everyone.
Preston.
Well, me?
Yep.
I don't know what to do with the stick.
So I think that there might be hope if people actually do something. Because I forget. No, it was Brie. I like my cheesy puffs too, and so the last thing I'm thinking about is the environment when I eat them. So I think maybe if we get people's attention about what's happening, we can get everybody involved, and we can make it all better.
The world.
I think there is hope because we have a lot of great inventors or scientists who can invent things that help the environment, just not enough people care to fix anything.
Keep money.
Who?
I liked what Dylan said because like it only takes one person to like put in a light screw in a light bulb. It can like take one person. It can like take one person make a big difference in how like to like help stop polluting stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Corey. Slow cash is other households.
So yeah, we could stop using so much energy, but if you think about it, these factories that are building all the solar panels and the wind turbines, they're polluting too. They're not going to stop polluting because we're creating new things. Yeah, it might help, but we're still going to pollute.
Savory.
Okay, so I'm going to say that there isn't hope. Because as humans, we all want things that are bigger and better, and how are you going to get those things? By creating industries that are putting more pollution into the air. And going to what Corey said, my one little snowmobile isn't going to make a big difference. If 1,000 or even like 1,000,000 people think that, after a while, it's going to make a big difference. But the real thing is the question. It's not, do you think there's hope? It's, is there hope? And there is. Dylan thinks there's hope. Maddie thinks there's hope. So there technically is hope. But, just lost my thought. If you put that hope into something and actually do something with that hope, then that's what matters. So technically, there is hope.
I'll go over there, Preston.
Why does Mr. Stewart come up with such weird names? Like 4 or 5
Walk.
times.
Stay. Okay. Okay, so I agree with Alyssa. Forgot who it was. No, Corey. Dylan. Dylan. Well, I was in the middle, but Dylan, college kids, they need the funding to make these inventions, and nobody's giving money for. If they want it, they pretty much have to get it all themselves, which either means go to a job, make more pollution, or just don't do it. And then Alyssa said people like their stuff, so they're not going to do anything. See, I'm putting probably more money than I should in my dirt bike. I still am putting money into it. And then, yeah, like Corey said, oh, I want a dirt bike's not going to do anything. But my dirt bike probably puts out 10 times more pollution than his snowmobile does. So it's either going to go down or it's just terrible.
Alrighty.
Okay, I agreed with Dylan and Sailor and kind of Sierra. Not much, but kind of. Okay, if there is hope with one person, then they put it into action.